back, y'all, again. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and this is the Overstand Podcast. Why understand when you can overstand? Tonight, I have with me a special guest. This man got countless of singles up on Apple Music right now, along with 5 dope albums. Albums such as King of Kings, Lord of Flatbush, Addressing All Issues, More Issues to Address, Method to Mars Madness, Time is Marz Money, Timeless Edition. I already said his name. Yo, thank you for tapping in, Marz Money.
What's good? What's good, Ash?
I'm good.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Appreciate you.
being here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your time and your energy, bro. Like I said, man, it's crazy when I reached out to you, that we're from the same block, same area, and for some reason we just never tapped in, even though we have the same circle of friends. But you know what I'm saying? Our journeys is just like intermingling. So again, thank you, man, for that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely from what we spoke about, it's like really like it's really there. But it's good to know that you have people that kind of know your move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's good to know that you have a bond even without even knowing someone type
yeah,
type.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
Yeah.
and that's like the crazy way that Brooklyn is, because
Subscribe.
like born and raised in Brooklyn myself, there's people that I know to this day by face, and the energy is just always love. But if you was
True.
to put a gun to my head and tell me
And
like,
say
yo,
their name.
say their name, be like, I just know him as you know what I'm saying. I just know by face, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Brooklyn is like that. So again, we want to start from the very beginning, because again, I always enjoyed your music, but
Hmm.
I think that you deserve your flowers, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the people that follow your music, people that do follow your music, wants to hear this platform giving you your flowers as well. So let's start from the very
All
beginning.
right. Do
Um,
that.
born and raised. Tell us where you was born and raised.
Yeah. I was born and raised in Flatbush, you know what I mean? Flatbush, Brooklyn, born and raised. Um, Lenox Road to be specific. And you know what I mean? I represent Flatbush. That's my whole thing. Anybody that got that energy that just love their hood, love that's the type of person I am for my hood, Flatbush.
All right, so that's dope. So did you have any like siblings, growing up as
Mm.
well?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. So
Okay.
I'm the oldest. So I got 2 younger brothers, and I kind of was just leading the pack, and they made their own name for themselves, and they hold it down. But what I mean, I'm always big bro, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they got their own. They don't want to be mom's little brother, so they
Yeah.
got their own wave. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Facts.
That's lit.
Hmm.
That's lit. So
Hmm.
tell us about, mom and pops.
Oh, my mom and my dad, they from Panama. My mom and dad, they immigrated from Panama to New York. But first, my dad was in the army. You know what I'm saying? He immigrated from Panama to New York, and then he was in the army, and he got shipped over to California, and then he sponsored my mom to come over, and they got married,
Hmm.
and then after he got out the army, they moved to Flatbush,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's where the story begins. You
Story
know what I'm
begin.
saying?
All right. All
Yeah.
right. That's lit. All right.
Right.
So can you tell us the earliest memory that you really fell in love with music?
All right. So it could be two. I'll give you two times or
Okay.
whatever. So
Okay.
my first memory of music as a was as a child. My mom playing music in the crib. You know what I mean? My mom playing a combination of Spanish music, salsa,
Mhm.
um, like R&B, soul, and reggae, and like just pop hits.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So Frankie Beverly and the Maze
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that disco type,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that type of music is like how I started knowing rhythm, Then getting a little older, like let's say, like now going out, going to parties. My mom is a real music person. She just loved music, loved dancing, playing music in the house, Saturday morning, whatever, cleaning up. She just blasted music,
Yeah.
all type of music. And Marvin Gaye and just a combination of, you got to understand, we from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
from Flatbush, but my mother's Panamanian.
Yeah.
And if you know Panamanian culture, we kind of like that whole, it's like a melting pot
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like she's listening to salsa music, Ruben Blades and Mark Anthony and all
Yeah.
these dudes. And
Yeah.
so that's that first love. But then my second instant were really loving music, we're gonna say specifically hip hop, was like about 12, 11, 12, anywhere between 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, like Nas, hearing Hate Me Now,
Yeah.
and then Biggie album coming out. I was like in like 6th grade or something like that, like Biggie passing away and shit like that.
Yeah.
So during that's when I locked in. So I finally got cable, and I
Yeah.
heard Nas Hate Me Now.
Yeah.
And I seen the video. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then Biggie's album came out, Life After Death, and it's like I dubbed it from, like, I went to school, like I had like some friends, Russian friends, and they had money for the album. The album was like 20 something dollars, the double disc.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'll say my two instances was my mom influence playing music in the crib, and then when I first got latched on to music, hip hop, with like, getting cable and then watching videos, and like, oh,
Yeah.
that was kind of my first two instances with getting into loving hip hop and shit. That love for music.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to segue nothing, but it's interesting that you say when you first got cable, because, like, because like in Brooklyn, everybody couldn't afford cable. That was like a real
People don't
luxury.
talk about that. That was like, if you got cable, you got a box. When you had
Yeah.
that cable vision box, it was like, oh, you got cable? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. That's lit. That's lit. So being that now you develop that love for the music, well, for music in general, hip hop music in Pacific, um, when do you remember was like your first like opportunity to really like record your own music?
Okay. All right. So basically, right, what led me to say I want to do music was
Subscribe.
hearing Young Chris and Rockefeller
Oh,
on a radio, and
mhm.
was that 2000 or 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
So remember that he's only 16.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jay-Z
Yeah.
kept saying that.
Yeah.
That's when I wanted to rap. That was the day that I was like, oh, I want to be a rapper,
Yeah.
because he was in my age group.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, he could do it. And I just started, like, I won't say like, I can't say jumping off the porch, because if you know Lenox Road, if you know Flatbush,
Yeah.
you've been
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
since you
Yeah.
was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
saying jump off the porch, I won't say that. I'll just say, like, knowing about shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing about street shit. So now let's say 90, after getting in tune with hip hop now I'm Brooklyn all the way. I'm a Jay-Z, Biggie
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now Jay-Z's music is making sense. Now the music is making sense. Before, I'm just, yeah, I like this song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buster.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
now I learn, oh shit, I'm learning street shit in the music.
Mhm.
So young Chris, when I'm realizing that young Chris is 16 and I'm 14, 15,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
young Chris says when Jay-Z says he's only 16,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I could do this too. So now I start jotting down.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time is when I met my partner, my first rap partner, T Hope. So we started writing lyrics and playing around in the crib,
Mm-hmm.
playing video games amongst the homies coming from school. You know what I'm saying? So, but I never rap. Like, I started rapping like after I got out of school. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really record. But
Yeah.
to get back to the root of the root question was, when did you finally record? I
Mm-hmm.
want to thank I want to thank another Flatbush veteran with this music stuff, um, Personnel, the producer Personnel. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Personnel, he was the only person I knew that made music,
Mm-hmm.
that recorded music. So
Yeah.
I hit him up, and he had a studio. He had like a makeshift studio. He used to make beats on PlayStation,
That's crazy.
and yo, he made the beats off the PlayStation app, that whatever game that was, and he invited me to his crib, and me and T Hope came, and the first song we recorded together was a Benjamin's freestyle.
Wow.
Word.
Wow.
And my name was always Marz.
Uh-huh.
But on the song, T Hope just said, "It's your boy T Hope and Marz Money." And once he said Marz Money, that became my rap name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Marz was my tagging name, Marz,
Mm-hmm.
Marz One, or Marz Dollar Sign. So I never said Marz Money. And then once he said Marz Money, that's when it became my rap name. So the
Yeah.
first time I ever recorded was at Personnel Studio in his crib, and we did Benjamin's freestyle.
That's
Word.
that's lit. Shout out to personnel. Shout out to T Hope.
Yeah.
Good dudes,
Word.
man. For real.
Word.
Um. So now that you recorded your very first song,
Yeah.
freestyle. So I know what that's like when you hear your very first song and you play it back 1,000 times in the crib.
Facts.
It's like you're hype on one end and then you're critiquing it like crazy on the other.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So after having that, experience, what was the next thing you wanted to do after you done heard your freestyle for that song?
Um. After hearing my freestyle, like, like I just wanted to rep my hood.
Yeah.
So my thing was, all right, I could rap, or yo, I'm asking Hope, because Hope had a flow already.
Yeah.
Hope like mirrored artists, like he really had the flow. I just had like with me, it was raw talent. It was more
Mhm.
like, yo, he got something to say. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to say stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to learn the flowing and but as far as saying stuff, or the content that I had,
Hmm.
was like what really drove me to like, yo, I need to say stuff off my chest. If young Chris could
Yeah.
do it, I
Yeah.
need to. And that
Yeah.
was my thing, you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
was my thing.
So knowing, all right. So now you're engulfed into the music. The music bug has really fully hit you,
Yeah.
um, and now you're with what I like to call doing your 10,000 hours, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, so what was that song after recording? Because what a lot of new artists don't understand, and I'm not trying to hate on a lot of new artists, but a lot of new artists, they have to really work on their music by recording, right? You only
Hmm.
get great at recording by recording a lot. So, what was that song that you then changed the little nuances? You learned the cadence flow, your
Hmm.
cadence. What was
Hmm.
that first song that you was like, yo, this one right
Hmm.
here is
Yeah,
this is different right here for me.
yeah. All right. So I can say, because we be in a group now. Now we're officially a group.
Hmm.
We call ourselves Noxmen Committee. We're officially a group.
Hmm.
So now I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, when you do group songs, as long as you can hang
Yeah.
with your partner, you
Yeah. Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
doing a good job. So
Yeah.
once, as I can't say a specific song as far as me doing it, because when I listen back now, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? But what I would say is me doing my first solo song. I had a first solo song called Straight from the Streets. And when I did Straight from the Streets, I was like, yeah, I know how to rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to put a song together, you know?
Yeah.
That's when it came about. So
Oh,
that's when I was like, yeah, I know how to rap. So that's
that's
what it
lit.
was.
So
Yeah,
that's this. So you had mentioned the Noxmen committee. So
yeah,
for the people that don't know how
yeah.
that formulate, let them know how that formulate.
All
Noxmen.
right. Yeah.
Subscribe.
All right. So going back to rapping with T Hope. So I met Hope through my other boy, Jo and J, my boy Jo. Shout out to Jo, J90. So we used to chill in J90 crib.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to all freestyle, all of us, you know what I'm saying? But Hope really used to write rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started writing rhymes, but I never wrote to beats. I just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? So my flow was more raw, you know what I'm saying? I just wrote to beats. So that was my thing. So now me and Hope decide to do that track. And we like, yo, so Noxmen was already a thing. Being from Lenox Road, we
Yeah.
know like, oh, Noxmen. Oh yeah, the Noxmen.
Yeah.
So now that was a regular thing, but it was just a hood thing. It wasn't we are actual all the Noxmen consider themselves rappers.
Right.
It,
Right.
but now when we say Noxmen Committee,
Mm-hmm.
we put our we put it together as we're a crew.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the group Noxman Committee. So it's me and T Hope now.
Mm-hmm.
So now remember, we don't have that much people that's rappers around us.
Mm-hmm.
But once we start distributing, showing the once we start showing, once we start showing like making people hear the tape, hearing
Yeah.
the freestyles that we're going to do. We're going to personnel crew. We're coming back with 2, 3 freestyles.
Yeah.
There's other people saying they want to rap.
Mm-hmm.
So Hope takes his CD to friends. Yo, listen, me and my boy Marz from Lennox, yo, we rapping. Look.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how we meet Keenan, which you know what I mean, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
which he ended up calling himself Berg, still Berg.
Still work. Yeah.
So Hope says, "Yo, I want you to meet somebody." When he brings Stillberg, I'm like, "Oh, that's Keenan. I know Keenan from the park."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's we had a bond. We used
Yeah.
to. So it's not like he bringing strangers and I don't know. It was like a bond, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where the committee come into play because we're all equal. We're all just holding it down. So now then my other boy Flex, you know what I'm saying? My boy
Yeah.
Flex Millie rapping with me. And then one of my boys that used to rap long time ago when I was a kid, my boy Nods the Noxman. So now it's just turning into a conglomerate. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the whole it ended up being like to compare it, it was really like a Wu Tang. We
Yeah.
end up really being like Wu Tang. Some of them was more consistent than others. Same
Yeah.
thing like
Yeah.
Wu.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
them bring everything together. It was, you know what I mean? I might have been the RZA. Hope
Mm-hmm.
might have been Meth. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or Jizza, Genie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how the conglomerate came about by all of us just like, yo, meeting one another. Yo, you rap. And then that's how it played out. Just and then people just fit the mold, and then yo, you Noxman, and then we just start rapping, and
Mm-hmm.
then we put out our first project. It was like some real. It wasn't really. I won't say put out, but it was something like we put a little project together.
Yeah.
Personnel helped us. We recorded everything at Personnel and a couple other. Now we start getting out there. What really happened is it's like we young kids doing it as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was one of my older bros he seen what we was doing, and he was like, "Yo, let me bring y'all to a real studio."
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Young Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Young Amsterdam, my partner to this day. He's the first person that believed in me and T Hope, and
Mm-hmm.
then just start bringing the whole conglomerate together, and we making logos and making covers and T-shirts, and then that's how the birth of Noxman Committee came about.
That's lit. Cause again, I remember around that time myself because we always used to get our haircuts at the same place. Rest in peace to my brother Omar. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, kid,
You know,
man.
you know what I'm saying? So
Kid.
my, my
Fact.
my brother Omar, man. But he when we would come in there, whatever, to get our haircuts and you know what I'm saying, shout out to Stillberg, shout out to Champ
Yeah.
as well. I'll
chant.
see my brothers in there. They like, yo, this is what we got going on, and they
Yeah,
play the music in the shop because O was cool like that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
bumping
yeah,
the music
yeah,
in the shop, and I was like, yo,
yeah,
that's y'all. It was like, yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, this ain't y'all, yo. This is hard. Like,
yeah,
pause. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
It was like, yo,
yeah,
it's us, Ash. Trust.
yeah,
So I was like, yo,
yeah.
I fucks with it. So at the end of the day, I remember that as well too. So
That's
that's
what's
lit.
up. That's
That's
what's up.
lit. That's
That's
lit.
what's up.
All right. So now that y'all really are formulating, y'all basically working on what y'all have y'all sound together because everybody's like in pocket, who does what, how they do what.
Yeah.
When you're
Hmm.
recording with people, you learn their vocals, what type of vocals they're going to say, their style, their cadence.
Hmm.
So now that you guys have put this together, now what becomes the new expectation of the group?
Okay. What end up happening is all right. So now we formulating, and people are recognizing our talent. So now we're getting like, oh, I know a producer, or I know an engineer, or yo, my boy got a studio. So now all of that is coming at us, but it's coming from different places. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So it's coming from. So we kind of like we're welcoming any feedback, input. We're welcoming any connects from anyone because we just trying to, as like you said, a committee. We just trying to put everything together. So as a group, we're getting beats from everywhere. So we just working with multiple producers. And like I said, we had this first little project
Mm-hmm.
that it really was more of a pass around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then now it was more of a pass around. But time went by. We doing showcases now, and then we finally put out our real project, our first real online presence project. Because remember,
Mm-hmm.
we're growing with the online
Yeah.
community as well. This
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
kind of like the first babies of
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
mixtape, you know what I mean? But we didn't have no connects or no backing. We just really had people that was just like hearing the talent, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So whatever little we finally put out the new regime.
Mm-hmm.
So the new regime has all of us, you know what I'm saying? The new
Yeah.
regime had all of us. So now we really have a crew now. It's the it weeded out all the people that was doing it part time, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we welcomed everybody. You know what I mean? We had one or two. We have guests. We had guests, people that didn't want to be rappers, or yo, let me just get a verse. But you a Noxmen, come on, and
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And once once we don't have the budget to everything
Subscribe.
start formulating by all those connects, and me learning the internet and how to work the internet, and needing a logo. I taught myself graphic design because we didn't have the funds
Yeah.
to pay Miami Chaos and
Yeah.
all these dope
Yeah.
graphic designers. I
Mhm.
personally learned. So it's like I was our in-house graphic designer. So this
Mhm.
is when everything started formulating. And then now we moving. So now we going to plush studios
Mhm.
now, and
Mhm.
we got like Young Amsterdam, Lalo, and a couple other the homies
Yeah.
putting in, chipping in for studio time for us.
Yeah.
And now we getting close. We meeting artists, and we getting close. So we got some traction,
Mhm.
and we're getting feedback that we're good, and we getting close to as far as like knowing people at labels, and we getting there,
Mhm.
so the come up was there. Now the hood is starting to catch on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't get as wildfire, but as far as like the movement,
Mhm.
everyone know the movement was, and
Yeah.
the internet just started jumping off. Everybody was messing with us at
Yeah.
that time.
All
Mhm.
right. So, at what point did you feel like you had to make a pivot, still move as a committee, but also make your own name outside of the committee?
Great question. So remember, being in a group is so much meeting people up, linking people up. But remember, like now I did my first solo track. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
so when what happened is you got so much people a part of the crew, and you got people tug of warring you. I want to be a manager, your boy. So this is going on with each of us. We still a conglomerate, but you know what I mean. Champ and Berg wants to do their little,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. They want
Yeah.
to do their solo. Me and Hope want to do a thing. Now I
Yeah.
want to do my Dolo album. So I think I was the first out of everybody to do a Dolo album. Yeah, because it was like, you know what I mean? It was just tug of warring of where you want to go with it, but it don't stop. The music don't stop. Life don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first I did all right. So I'm a, to not be long winded. The first song that like oh shit, I did Fully Loaded Clip. I did a song called Fully Loaded Clip
Mm-hmm.
on freestyle on 50 Cent shit. And I just went on there just talking mad shit,
Yeah.
talking about the hood,
Yeah.
disrespecting people. Like it was just bad. When I
Yeah.
look back now, it
Yeah.
was really bad and provoking. But
Yeah.
at that time, I was like the hood 50 Cent. I just put myself out there and like, man, I don't like this person, that person.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
started wilding out and shit like that. So that was when I was like, I got something to say. And you know what I mean? Because you know, you got people here in the group project like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I like Mars better, or yo,
Yeah.
T Hope is the best. Nah,
Yeah.
Stillberg and Champ is the best.
Yeah.
So now all of that makes I'm put my own solo shit out too, and
Yeah.
then that's how that. But it's friendly competition, but that's what it was with the brothers, and then it's like everybody weeding themselves out. Then we after putting out that first project, I do my solo joint. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody then Berg work ethic is crazy. So Berg want to put his solo joint.
Yeah.
Then Champ want to put his solo joint. But because I did that song Full Loaded Clip, everything spread like who's Marz Money. Like
Yeah.
it turned into that, you know. And then
Okay.
I knew how to like I was an internet baby, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
a computer geek, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to promote myself online. So that's when it started spreading. Like, who's that? Doing
Yeah.
my own videos and MySpace, and so
Yeah.
the internet helped us. The internet definitely helped us because at first it was hand to hand, it was grinding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once the internet took off locally, or I say like locally, but national too. You know what I mean? We had remember the internet helps you. Like we had
Yeah.
people in North Carolina,
Yeah.
we had people upstate New York, but the internet helped us spread. But that's when the hood, who's Marz Money,
Yeah.
that hood credibility and that
Yeah.
hood notoriety came with me doing that song, Fully Loaded Clip.
Now going back a little bit to your
All
mom,
right. Okay.
because of her love for music. Now that you're an artist making music, how did she feel about your music career at that time?
All right. So ironically, this is the same time with me growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, she probably thinking this is a bad influence
Mm-hmm.
because the music became like a diary to my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how to rap like I'm driving in luxury cars, and I know how to rap and tell you this happened yesterday,
Yeah.
and this.
Yeah.
That's how because Beanie Siegel is my favorite rapper. What he say? I speak the truth every time I step in the booth.
Yeah.
So that was my method when it comes to music. So my mom, I'm still her baby, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what I would credit my mom is when I told my mom I want to do music, what I credit my mom is, you know how you get the financial aid check? You know that little 1,600 from for the community college
Uh-huh.
financial aid check?
Uh-huh.
I was supposed to give my mother that money back. And I told my mom, yo, I'm doing music. I want to press up some CDs.
Uh-huh.
And she gave me 900. She said, give me this and keep that.
Yeah.
And I press up CDs. So anytime I say you didn't support me, you didn't, she would be like, I was the first person, you know, because I know she didn't. My music kind of took the music kind of was a soundtrack to my life and the derailment of certain shit going on in my life. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I'm not a bad kid. I really wasn't a bad kid. And you know where we from,
Yeah, yeah,
our
yeah,
parents ain't really raised straight bad kids. It was
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah,
overstand this, like you
yeah,
saying, you overstand what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
we wasn't really terrors, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, but that kind of like made my have a the rap and me getting in trouble, starting to get in trouble around that time. The music left a bad taste in my mom's mouth. Pause, but really and truly, it was the She did support me as when I first started rapping by giving me the money to press up the first album that we did.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's is something that you just said that we come from a neighborhood where foundationally we're not bad kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like the average kid that want to have fun, want to
That's
do
a
well,
fact.
want to take care of their family,
Yep.
right? But like my mom, she used to work for Supreme Court of New York, and it would break her
Mm,
heart when she ran into somebody from the neighborhood who was around my
mm.
age, older, younger. You know, my oldest brother, like when we grew up together, was 11 years apart. So if you in that age range, it really broke her heart to see,
Okay,
kids
I
have to
get
come
it.
through the system that that she would know from the community. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And but she know for a fact that even though something happened that whether they did or they was a part of that, they wasn't bad kids, even though the stereotype will be like you're here because you're just terrible,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so it's interesting that you had mentioned that. So
yeah, yeah.
you know but you had mentioned that some of your influences are Jay-Z, Nas. Your favorite rapper is
Subscribe.
Beanie Siegel. he,
Yeah.
he still got one of my favorite lines still to this day when he said, "I hit you like a blunt rolled loose." That was crazy to me.
Uh-huh.
So you have your influence, you're doing your thing as well.
Hmm.
What now becomes the new end goal as far as now your music? Because now your music is you got it on the internet, you
Hmm.
passing it throughout the
Hmm.
neighborhood is passing out to each
Hmm.
other.
Hmm.
Now what becomes the new next step?
All right. The new next step, what I would always say my goal was to get a solo deal and a label deal. That's
Hmm.
was my goal. So anybody that knew somebody that was moving, I wanted them to present me to this person. Anybody. So my goal was to get I'm a ASAP Rocky's deal.
Yeah, yeah.
ASAP Rocky had got it. When ASAP Rocky got that deal, that's when ASAP Rocky had that deal for himself and
Hmm.
ASAP Mob.
Yeah.
That was my goal. That
Hmm.
was my goal. I wanted that deal. So I was trying to just get my music in the right people's hands
Hmm.
and the right people that believe or investors' hands.
Hmm.
And that's a whole nother process. But
Hmm.
that was my main goal. I wanted ASAP Rocky's deal.
So tell the people why that particular deal was that important for you at that time.
Mhm. All right. Because, all right, the reason why I wanted a deal where I get a solo album and then I get a group project is because I kind of took on, like, by default, I kind of took on more of like the 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 person that bring everything together.
Hmm.
And me doing my music, Noxmen Committee is my crew. I still want to put people together. Like we never broke up. It ain't no
Yeah, yeah,
breakup or
yeah, yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
It's more of a just pushing the movement. And I
Hmm.
always was like, that was my goal. Like, yo, I just wanted to get signed so I could get my solo album out and
Hmm.
have my group album, and we just all lit and we
Hmm.
all nice. Cause
Yeah,
I felt like we was just spitters. Like we
yeah.
really rap, we really do this, and that's what I wanted. So I really wanted that deal to just like I just wanted to get signed. That was yo. I My boy Young Amsterdam always get mad at me, but I used to be like, well, I can't wait till I blow. I can't wait till I blow. But young Amsterdam had a more foresight of, he had a better mind to know, like, you already on. I never,
Yeah.
what I respect about some of my bandmates is that they thought that they was on already.
Yeah.
But I always used to say, I can't wait till I blow. And I never like made myself know like I'm on already. Which you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even though I was doing everything that on people do, I wasn't embracing the independent movement of
Yeah.
music. But I had merch, I was selling merch, I
Mm-hmm.
was selling CDs, I was doing everything that independent artists do right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
promoting my own music, and you know what I mean? But it just it just I wish like I just wish I got signed, because I know the machine would have just filled in the blanks for everything that I was doing for myself
Mm-hmm.
already. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now that you had took on the leadership role just by how things is playing out, um, and I remember because I spoke on that with a past guest that at that time using independent to become quote unquote a major artist or being signed. um I think for the most part a lot of us was still under the illusion that once we get signed that is going to take care of everything,
Yeah,
and not really understanding the business side of it. Not saying that
yeah,
that was for you, but for me, I had that same mentality. Was like, yo, I'm thinking once my team gets signed, that it takes care of everything in a different type of way.
yeah,
But the numbers, it don't work. It don't, it works. It
yeah.
works a different type of way. So now that you have the leadership role, y'all moving. um when did like a better question that I have to clean this up, who was the first DJ to help get you guys on the radio?
DJ Don DeMarco.
Shout out. Shout
DJ
out.
Don DeMarco. He got us on independent radio.
Shout
We
out.
was getting, it was multiple DJs. I can't really, but saying that off top, I would say DJ Don DeMarco got us on he got us on like a lit independent radio in the
Hmm.
New York City and stuff like that. But that's the funny thing that you said DJs, because I used to reach out to DJs. That's another thing. And when I say leadership role, it's not leadership role. It's just I really was just did a lot. I
Yeah.
just did a lot.
Yeah.
So now they got lead. I have leaders in my crew. Like that's
Yeah.
why we are a committee, but
Yeah.
it's we led in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stillberg might have led creatively in the studio.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Hope
Hmm.
might have led like speaking up for me, but I led like in having the accounts, having all the Noxmen
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
committee accounts and this that
Yeah.
and the third.
Mm.
So the DJs, when it comes to the DJs, I'll say a credible DJ that got us on the radio was DJ Don DeMarco, but the DJ that really locked in with us was another Flatbush native that go by the name DJ Victorious. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Shout out to Victorious DaCosta.
Shout
So
out.
DJ Victorious is a Flatbush DJ, and he heard we had a song called The Bush,
Hmm.
and he heard it, and he was like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" But he was a more of a mixtape DJ.
Yeah.
But also another DJ that locked in with us was DJ Watts.
Yeah, I remember DJ
D,
Watts. Shout
DJ
out. Yeah.
Watts. Shout
Yeah.
out to DJ Watts.
Yeah.
He was, remember I'll put them on the mixtape DJs.
Hmm.
They put on for us. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They recognize our talent, and we was on any project they dropped. So if they blew, we blew. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
how it was, vice versa. So they were really our DJs. Remember, back in the days, mixtapes always had DJs on it.
Yes.
Any mixtapes that we dropped, it
Hmm.
was one or the other or both of them promoting our thing. So I'll say that's my DJs. But any prominent DJ outside of my circle
Hmm.
that was locked in with us, DJ Don DeMarco had got us on the radio. I'll say that. And then, Sirius Radio came about. Victoria's got a little stint at Sirius Radio. So we was getting little things like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Little college radio play at Kingsborough and at
Mm-hmm.
CUNY radio station one or two times. But that's how it played. I started working at DJs. I could tell you a crazy story about the
Yeah. Yeah.
DJs. I
Subscribe.
I used to be so mad with flat DJs that used to do parties in Flatbush that I used to go up to them. Sometimes there would be no money. Sometimes I had $20. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
play my record. I'm coming through the club with 20, 30. I'm I'm coming to the club with like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Men
Yeah.
and women. You know what I mean? Boys,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like teens, like we just deep.
Yeah.
So play my record because we gonna wild out regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these dudes is like, cause they want to play reggae. They don't want,
Yeah.
we from Flatbush.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
Flatbush
Yeah.
stigma. They want to play reggae. They don't want to play my record.
Yeah.
So it's plenty of times I done kick down DJ sets in the hood. But we deep. I done kick party everywhere in Brooklyn. And most parties are in Flatbush. So
Yes.
all these prominent DJs that come to Flatbush to do these clubs, all
Mm-hmm.
the clubs are in Flatbush. At that time, every club is in Flatbush or on the outskirts of Flatbush. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The roller skating ring,
Mm-hmm.
CPAC,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rain was down. You know what I mean? Rain is close to downtown, but all these things are like Flatbush. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
this circle. You know what I mean? So the Arc, East New York. We.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if
Legendary.
I know a DJ, or if I know this DJ is lit, yo, what up? He playing rap. Yo, listen, if you play 50 Cent, play Fully Loaded Clip right after. Look, this is my song.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will rock and sometimes it thing. But I'm 30 deep anyway. So
Yeah.
now when I do get successful, the shit go crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is how some of these DJs fuck with me now. Cause they're like, oh shit, he got a little crew, he got a
Squad.
little
Yeah.
movement,
Yeah.
he got
Yeah.
a little squad. So shout out to people like um Steely Bashment, DJs, you know what I mean? Steely Bashment,
Yeah.
you know what I
Legendary.
mean? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? People
Yeah.
like that. DJ Shortman, you know what I mean? DJ Shortman and a couple other DJs that I used to just reach out to, you know what I mean? Spin City, anybody that was doing their thing as a DJ, I'm running down on them because I was partying. And
Yeah.
and I used the people that I partied with, like some of the homies that because my block was like that lit block. My block was like one
Yeah.
of those lit. But if you know, you know. If you from Flatbush, you know that we right off of Flatbush Avenue. So my block is kind of a lit block. So
Yeah.
what I did was say, you know what? I got all these niggas that chill on the block with me, all these young ladies that be shout out to Pretty Mafia,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to my Blood Money niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we going to a party, but they know my music.
Yeah.
So now when we like 30 deep and you play my song, whether it's a trash song,
Yeah.
it's 30 people jumping up and down,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole party look like it's lit.
Yeah.
And that's that was my thing, you know what I'm saying? So certain DJs fucked with me and I made a couple enemies with certain DJs too.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's the part of the journey, to be honest with you. When you look back at it, it's like, damn. But when you're like within, going through that journey, it is what it is. So
And I'm glad you said that word, not to cut you. I'm glad you
yeah.
said that word, journey. I love the journey. You feel me? Like I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here. I'm still alive. I can still go record. Then I got my own studio. I can record in my own studio. I love music. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still here and I enjoy the journey. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
That's my thing. So you said the key word journey.
Mm-hmm.
I love the journey. You know what I'm saying? I love the struggle. I love that era. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's funny that, like, you had mentioned some things, right? So,
Okay.
like, for me, a part of my head start when I said to myself, yo, I'm gonna do music. At
Okay.
that particular time, I was working at a club as a bartender, and I was pretty
Mm.
popular with the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know ball in the back, and I was doing my thing, but I also played college football, so I had a head start when I started doing music. I had my team in college
Mm-hmm.
football. You playing with 100 dudes.
I know that. I know
You
that.
know what I'm
It's
saying?
already a circle. It's already a that
Right.
jock circle, that type of yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
And
again,
college, that's another thing. You know, the college network.
it's
It's like
different.
once you lit on campus,
Yeah, it's different. It's
that's another element of our music too, because we was lit on a couple campuses. Shout out to Howard University and
shout
Columbia
out. Yeah.
Green Community College, upstate New York too. Columbia Green Community College. So I
Shout
get it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that was like my little. I had a couple of little cheats. Me playing college football. My dudes
Mm-hmm.
on my team. Again, I was popular at school, so I had
Mm-hmm.
chicks. Now I'm working at the club. I got chicks, and the club that I work at happens to be in the neighborhood. I worked at Club
Mm.
Temptations. Yeah.
Word.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wow, Temptations is
It, it,
that's flat
it,
bush. That's as flatbush as you can get. Yeah. Fact.
so I had me a head start because when
Hell yeah.
I went to the owner, I said, "Yo, I'm doing music." And then I'm not gonna lie to you, when he first heard my music, he was like, "Yeah, I ain't really jacking this like that." You know what I'm saying? But he
Mm,
was honest. But I had to put my 10,000 hours in for him to really say, "Yo, I like
mm,
that song. You get that to me. We'll play it downstairs." So I had to go
mm.
through that, process as well too. So it wasn't like a easy,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
It
saying? But
wasn't an easy road. Yeah, fact.
right, but I still respect the process because he was honest. And again, knowing Flatbush, I had to learn not to just make music for myself. I had to learn to make music for everybody. And because what people don't realize, if they come to New York, they think is rap this, rap that. But when you go to a Brooklyn party, I don't not the rest of the New York, but if you come to a Brooklyn party, you're gonna hear a whole lot of soca, reggae,
Exactly.
you're gonna hear a lot of that. So he's
Exactly.
coming from that lineage, him having a label. So the pointers he was giving me, it mattered. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a head
Mm-hmm.
start for me. My father was a signed artist and
Mm.
things like that. So I had a couple little cheats, but it was funny that you had mentioned the neighborhood and I had to mention
Yeah.
Temptations because
Yeah, that
Temptations,
was one of them. That
yeah, it
definitely
was
was
the
one.
spot.
I done did shows in Temptations, little shows. I,
Uh-huh.
I I did little showcases in Temptations and all that, and that was like the local club. So
Yeah,
that was the spot. Yo,
yeah,
I'm going up to Temptations.
yeah.
That was regular shit. So definitely that because that's what played a part. Like you said, the cheat codes, partying, coming through deep, coming through
Hmm.
with the homies. We gonna pop bottles, we
Yeah.
gonna do certain things that now it comes with the music. So we on flyers,
Hmm.
Noxmen committees, big up. We
Yeah.
coming with thing, and I'm getting my song played. This is a regular thing.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. That was my whole motive, But you know what I mean. Like you said, it's a journey, and it's certain things like what you broke down of how you like knowing making music for the people,
Hmm.
knowing the crowd you is. I'm a person that's like, nah, fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
rapping,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
As I look back in hindsight, I'm like, damn, I should have this, I should have did that. But at the same time, I'm grateful. Like it is what it is. I played the cards the way I played it. I'm happy how it is what it is. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
enjoyed the journey. So
Hmm.
but it's a lot of things like we keep saying it, but now, you know what I mean? Me
Hmm.
saying this is crazy, but now when I look back, I shouldn't have pushed flappish, 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 flappish in their head. Because
Yeah.
then somebody from Bed-Stuy is supposed to be like, I fuck with him, but he be on that flap.
Yeah.
If I would have been Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn,
Yeah.
but the reason why I say flappish, flappish, because Jay-Z kept saying Marcy, Marcy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I know where Marcy at because of Jay-Z. So I
Yeah.
want everybody to know where Flatbush at because of me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think it was a gift and a curse. Like you said, we coming from a predominantly Caribbean melting pot.
Hmm.
So they want to hear, they thinking we gonna chat. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
They gonna think we gonna chat, but I looked at it like, yo, I rap, I throw my little patois lines here and there, and I felt like nobody was doing that. I was really one of the only rappers doing that. You know what I'm saying? At that time, that's how I felt. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really rappers putting in patois in their raps. If you got on the track as a rapper, you just stayed as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really too much people. Now when I look back, the people that was doing it was Boot Camp Click.
Mm-hmm.
KRS was doing it a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
when the time of my come up, nobody was doing it. So I used to throw my little lines in there, and people used to that's how people to this day that shit worked for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where we speak on it later on, to this day, those little patois make the hood, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
cling on to me. So it's a gift and a curse, but this is the way I wanted to do it, repping Flatbush. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say King of Kings, Lord of Flatbush album,
Mm-hmm.
when people listen to that album, what is the biggest message that you was trying to get across from that album?
That was after, that was like later on in my, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was like my return,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, album. But the message that I wanted to get across, I wanted some culture. Like, all right, so I'm like that Rastafarian culture kind of
Mm-hmm.
was really in that drove me there. But I
Mm-hmm.
was like, for Flatbush, I'm one of them guys, you know what I'm saying? Not to take away from whoever else put on,
Yeah.
but King of King, Lord of Flatbush, because that's King of King, Lord of Rastafari.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's King of King, Lord of Lord. You know what I mean? Lord of Lords. But I wanted to say, King of King, Lord of Flatbush, and then
Yeah.
Lord of Flatbush. I always had a play on Lord of Flatbush. That was a movie, so that
Mm-hmm.
was just my creativity coming together. But that whole album was like showing growth,
Mm-hmm.
showing versatility. That was
Subscribe.
my aim with that album, showing growth, versatility, and just like really just putting some good music together. That was
Mm-hmm.
kind of my growth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah. So you have a song on there called Flatbush. Fire,
yeah.
fire
Mm-hmm,
song.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, was that song made to be the anthem?
Yes, yes, yes. It definitely was made to be the anthem, and I mean, it definitely was made to be like an anthem. But that's a song that I had brewing for years in my brain. I just needed a producer to make it for me. And I
Mm-hmm.
finally found a producer to cook it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, if so, I have shout out to Muddy Gold. You know what I mean? Another producer from Flatbush area.
Yeah.
Shout out to Muddy Gold. You know what I mean? Platinum. I mean gold selling art. Platinum producer. Gold selling producer. You know what
Producer.
I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
got gold records and stuff. So shout out to Muddy. I finally got because I basically I asked Muddy, "Am I co-producing?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's you're basically like that's what you did is 50%." Because I'm telling him, "Yo, you remember this song Harlem by Jim Jones?
Yeah.
Yo, I wanted to that same drum pattern, but I want to say Flatbush."
Yeah.
And because he says Flatbush, no, he says 7th, Lennox, and what about the East Side,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
40th,
Yeah.
barrio. So I
Yeah.
said, nah, I'm from Lennox Road, so I'm like Flatbush, Lennox, and what about the East Side, the 40s, the 50s, the 90s, BOC's high. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so I was like, yo, this got to get the whole hood together. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I try to bring everybody in. So I said everything in there. I try to bring everybody in. And I ain't do the video, which is still, right now, it's still possibility to do the video. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
time. That's timeless music. Shout out to everybody that be reposting that song and using that song. That song get a lot of streams because when you type up Flatbush, that's going to be one of the first songs
Yeah.
to pop up.
Yeah.
So that song was definitely meant for the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely meant to like bring some noise to the hood.
You know, that's a very smart song to make, marketing wise as well too, because of
Yeah.
that as well.
Hmm.
You had another song called "In the Clutch" on that album as
Hmm.
well. Another
I'm
dope
glad
record.
you said that. I'm
Uh,
glad you said that.
can you break that record down for us?
Yo, that's a song that I wrote while I was up north and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yo, that beat. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you pointed that out because that's probably one of my most favorite songs on that album. I ain't push it as a single, but
Yeah.
that's one of my most favorite songs as an album. I mean, on the album. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
ain't push it as hard as as like saying it's the main thing, but how that song came about, it was just like I just needed some up tempo type
Yeah.
fire shit, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
representing, you know what I'm saying? Like I need somebody that's always gonna be come through in the clutch for me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And just, playing with the bars and but that was just one of them big songs that I really like. Um Teddy the Don produced that. Shout out to another Flatbush producer, gold selling record
Mm-hmm.
producer, Teddy the Don.
Yo,
Hmm.
shout out to Teddy the Don.
Yeah, fact.
Like I said, dope record. But you had mentioned, being up north. Um, I'm noticing in today, well, we still a part of today's rap culture and rap music, right? We still
Hmm.
active. We still making some of the best music we ever made in our life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I'm noticing a lot of deaf culture in the music today. You spoke on, being up north. Um, a lot of kids is out here really rapping on that type of time, but don't realize the consequences that was going to lead, that you're going to take years from your life, that you don't want to sit nowhere for a period of time.
Fact.
Can you speak on today's music, on the message, on this is real, like, being a getting locked up is real. But
Hmm.
when you're really locked up, you're like, yo, this is not real. Like, I want to be out taking care
Hmm.
of myself, taking care of my family. Can you speak on?
Hmm. Yeah. So in hindsight, right, what the kids are doing now, in a way, how I came out the gate, I kind of was doing that. You know what I'm saying? My first song that got me famous, they use the word clout now.
Mm-hmm.
That song gave me clout in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling of popularity because I said something disrespectful on a song and I got that clout, instead of saying, yo, negative things gonna come to you,
Mm-hmm.
you like the clout and the notoriety that the song gave you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I feel like the first I'm kind of the first guinea pig of that mentality. And
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that music, I just wasn't doing drill music, but I
Mm-hmm.
was doing that type of music. Like I mentioned, 50 Cent. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I do see myself, or I do recognize what makes these children get into that. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, being a this music being a soundtrack to my life, I kind of look at it in hindsight like, yo, I was wilding. Like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
this I was really wilding. Like those songs, those controversial songs, I got into real shootouts over, like
Mm-hmm.
real bullets,
Mm-hmm.
guns blazing over these songs because of what I was saying in the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So all these drill artists that's doing that, I was like the first person face. I felt like I was one of, locally, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I was really channeling, channeling, channeling that negative energy through my music and getting the notoriety and being fueled by the notoriety,
Mm-hmm.
which also might have held me back because I've had labels that reached out, but maybe things like that is what held me back then because it wasn't cool then.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you got too much beef, or you're a hothead, like you got a case pending.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sign you. You know what I mean? It could have been. That's also things that could have held me back. But these kids, they don't know the consequences of this real life prison shit.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit back and you get locked, like you're going to jail, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to prison, you're gonna lose, like you're gonna lose a lot of your years in your life. You know what I'm saying? I lost the later part of my 20s and the beginning of my 30s, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because of guns, have this gun shit, and
Mm-hmm.
you causing these little rifts and these beefs, and then you also rapping about it, calling names, but you
Mm-hmm.
really do have street situations.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like one of the first of Brooklyn, that type of shit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, separating it from the music, like son, that's one of the worst feelings. Like being in prison. Prison is trash. It's not cool, and it's not even what people think it is too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I need to get this out there to a lot of people. Prison is for derelicts. Like really derelict. Like derelict dudes are in prison. It's not official niggas and gangsters in prison. It's it's outnumbered by derelicts.
Mm-hmm.
Like like dudes that you would walk by and don't talk to because they're not cool or they're weird or
Mm-hmm.
they're like super tough but not really. Like
Yeah.
when you're in prison, you're gonna be like, you feel like a fool. Like, damn, I like how they say, I tricked myself out of my spot. You know, don't let them
Yeah.
trick you out your spot.
Yeah.
I tricked myself out of my spot, bro. Because I'm like, I'm with dudes that's not cool. They're not cool. They're bozos. But there's
Mm-hmm.
people that will go there and be like, oh, he's a gang member. Like, oh, yo, and they caught up in a rapture.
Yeah.
Then when you come home, you see this fool that you was feeling or jacking or listening to. He's
Mm-hmm.
a he's a goofy in the town.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's really
Yeah.
a goofball.
Yeah.
So I feel like if a lot of kids knew that, like, oh, you're a bozo for being in jail,
Yeah.
the population would decrease.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people crash out thinking, oh, I'm gonna be locked up, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be with the homies, I'm gonna be with the homeboys. Okay, you're gonna be in there like, damn, I'm a bozo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you're gonna sit around and see that you with crackheads and weirdos and rapists, and you're gonna be like, damn, like I played myself. You're gonna. This is why I can say, yo, I came from a good home, or I came, you know what I mean? Even though we came from good family,
Yeah.
because I know, because now I go, now I'm the 1% in a dorm full of weirdos,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I don't come,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there like, so these dudes ain't never been to Miami. They
Mm-hmm.
never pop bottles in the club. You're
Yeah.
not gonna be up there. You're gonna, if there's a population of the jail is 600, you're gonna find 50 people that's official that
Right.
in the same
Right.
predicament as you.
Right.
But the
Right.
rest of the population is goofies.
Yeah.
They either goofy gang members, rapos,
Mm-hmm.
or just nobodies that they like. People didn't forget about me, and I mean people didn't forget about me. But there's people upstate that people forget about.
Mm-hmm.
There's people in prison that people forget about. People don't remember them. Like they may say free John,
Mm-hmm.
but in 6 months, there's no more free John.
Right. Right. Right.
And a
Right.
lot of these young kids need to learn that. Like you're not gonna get the notoriety, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, listen, at the end of the day, the reason why I got locked up, at the end of the day, I was in a situation where I had to protect myself at, in my neighborhood, period.
Right.
So I can't say that I did this or did that. The system didn't work in my favor. Some injustices was a part of my case. But for the most part, I'm not being a person preaching. I'm just saying I was there and that shit was whack.
Yeah.
I'm not being a person saying, don't go there, listen to me, go there. I'm not saying that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that shit is whack and
Mm-hmm.
try to avoid it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't like to compare eras. But it just seemed like when we was a little younger, our beefs rooted in some sort of substance, and it felt a bit more personal
Personal.
than anything else. It didn't feel so clout driven. This
Mm.
era feels more, I'm gonna get this clout and then it becomes
Yes,
personal. So
that exactly.
and I think more so we have more people who was that had runs in with the Lord before us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
in that knowledge, regardless if we, recycled we continue to cycle or we didn't. But it just seemed like a lot of the kids now comes from good homes, but they want the clout, so they're going to start something and then have it be a beef, but it's not rooted in no type of substance,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Mm-hmm.
not realizing the consequences that's on us.
Exactly.
So,
Listen, I'm starting to see. I've been watching a couple. Um, I've been watching some interview podcasts, and they got like a channel with some of the dudes from that drill era coming up now,
mhm,
and they're like, I was bugging. They're now taking accountability. So
mhm,
they're now it's starting to come back full circle. So with my beefs, it really was something. It was personal shit. It was block to block shit. It
mhm.
was animosity shit. It was, what I mean, you know, the regular normal bitches shit.
Yeah,
But with these new, it's like, oh, that person died. I didn't shoot him. I don't know nobody that shot him. I'm not involved in it. But let me diss him
yeah,
to get clout.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what they're
yeah,
doing now.
yeah.
So it's straight. They're doing that. Like, oh, I didn't have no issues with this person, but oh, that's what get me lit. That's what
Yeah,
get me the clout.
yeah,
Let me diss this person. My shit was the person I was speaking on. Whatever we had to beef, I probably because I rap. But even with that, I wasn't even supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But I get why. But at the same time, yeah, they crashing out, and
mhm,
that's why their genre is in the position it is now. This is people like Mayor Adams cracking down on that, and
mhm,
that's why if I could name any drill artist for the past five years, 2019, if I name, they're all basically locked up or cased up or on bail or something, and that's
mhm.
why that genre is fake dying out because of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Addressing all issues.
Mm-hmm.
The album.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've gone from one body of work, this new body of work, what is when you hear that, it seems like you got a lot on your mind that you
All
have to
right.
speak on.
So,
So,
addressing our issues, maybe addressing our issues came before Lord of Flatbush.
okay,
Addressing our issues came when I was before I get locked up and all that.
yeah,
Addressing all issues, that was like my coming of age. That's like
oh,
I consider that's like a platinum hood record.
yeah,
That I went platinum in the hood with
yeah,
that mixtape. That
yeah,
mixtape was platinum in the hood.
hmm,
If you listen to that mixtape, I'm just rapping about the problems I'm going through in the hood, the stuff, the backlash from the dropping the song, fully loaded clip, beefs with dudes in the hood, with females, whatever it was. That was just the whole body of work, and then rapping. That was like that's my reasonable doubt. That's my
yeah,
reasonable doubt.
uh-huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you do that album and you get the feedback that you're getting, and when platinum in the hood, now what doors that you feel like that album is now opening at that time?
So it's kind of a mix. It was kind of a mix. It was kind of like, yo, Marz, stop rapping like that. You getting in beef, but it also was like the clout of it.
Hmm.
And the doors that I am knocking down now is I'm knocking down certain doors, but nothing is sticking.
Hmm.
But the notoriety, the respect, the the um the fame is coming into play, but not something what not materializing what I wanted was I want to get signed.
Yeah.
That wasn't materializing, but I think that wasn't materializing for other reasons. I feel like I was unbeknownst to the gossip of me in those meetings with people. And though I know for a fact I got the ears of the people at the label,
Yeah.
but I don't know what was being said.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know what was being said, or I don't know who bridges I burned, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is for me not to get walked in the door to say, "Yo, I heard your mixtape. This, that, and the third." But I could go off and name multiple people that know me, fuck with me, or that worked here, that worked there, but it that big thing wasn't materializing. That what I wanted wasn't materializing, but independently, I'm 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 moving. The movement is still moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So with that album, that's like the album that you're saying, like, yo, no matter what anybody say about me, whether they like me or not, you have to respect my music.
Yeah.
That album.
Yeah. That was it. That was that album. Definitely.
So
Mm-hmm.
based on today's climate in music and what we're finding out about labels and how they, how they've been moving
Mm-hmm.
on the extra play in the background of music,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, it kind of answers its own questions on why you wasn't brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because get when you get around these people and they feel your energy, pause, they know who and who not to try certain things with. So because
Come on, bro.
you're not going to be invited to certain rooms and tables of business. So at this point, do you feel like you missed out because you wasn't invited to that table?
Yeah. But in addition to the wilding out or whatever, in addition to the backing off from work with me, now when I look back in hindsight, I showed people that I knew too much. I knew the game. So they couldn't jerk me.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't, they knew I wouldn't have been a victim to the game. For
Mm-hmm.
what's all for all the things that's going on in the industry now,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't play that with me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was educated. Plus, I knew too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that backfired. I should have played dumb to catch wise, how they say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That backfired. I know that backfired. Knowing too much. You know what I mean? Because like I said, remember I'm in a group.
Yeah.
My group members, some of my group members walked into the got
Yeah.
walked in
Yeah.
to big record labels. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I said, we still got noted. Like, don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. The relationships is going, everything. Nothing is materializing.
Right. Right.
But the relationships and knowing who's who and them knowing us was getting built. We're
Mm-hmm.
tapping in with artists that's on and
Mm-hmm.
they know. They respect the pen, they respect the music. It just nothing is really materializing. And then on top of that, you gotta have that backing. You gotta have that bread. You gotta have the investment. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that probably wasn't materializing. Like I said, we doing it off the whim.
Mm-hmm.
We getting far with what we know and what we have.
Right. Right.
But that extra oomph wasn't materializing all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever it did, it was like shit didn't work out. You a hood rapper. You got somebody that believe in you and tell you, yo, my man a millionaire. Yo, you know what I mean? I've been around those, yo, I'm gonna put some invest money in you and one or two plays, but things just never materialize.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But definitely what a part of thing holding me back, definitely, not to say hold me back, but kind of deterred everything was me knowing too much. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of knew a lot. So along with me being like wild or damn, we want to back away from the artist, I knew a lot and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going for a lot of shit. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened. Mm-hmm.
So, like when I think of today, right? And I think of back then because being independent at that time, it wasn't like the sexy thing at that time. It felt very struggle on how people looked at you. So I remember at that time for myself that if you wasn't signed to Diddy, if you wasn't signed to Jay, if you wasn't signed to 50, anybody who was really making waves on in a commercial aspect, people deemed you as like kind of slight, no matter how dope.
Exactly.
Subscribe.
So
And
I
yeah,
remember, that, and that's what kept me really rocking was the fact that I didn't develop the bag. I didn't made some money, and I was able to get my hustle on through that. So but I remember that time, no matter how hard I tried, it took a while for people for that stigma to change, and it wasn't me that changed that stigma. It was just the way that the record industry viewed independence.
yeah,
So now independence is like yo, you independent, yo, that's lit. But back in,
yes,
I
yes,
started 7 or 8. It wasn't like, oh, so you got your own CD made. Oh, this look fire, but who made this CD? It was like
yeah,
Rollistic Records. Who's Rollistic Records, bro? It was like, yeah, it's my pops label, and we building through that. And it's like,
yeah,
I cool, but y'all ain't dealing with Def Jam. You ain't dealing with Arista.
yeah,
Dealing
yeah,
with it's like So I remember that stigma. But
exactly.
but now looking back at that, right? And you feel like that's what held you back. In hindsight, being independent, I think actually push you more forward than
Yeah,
a label. Like a label put the
yeah,
dollars up, but as
yeah,
far as getting the type of endless love for your
yeah,
music and being in
yeah,
control of your business.
yeah.
As,
And yeah, like I said, the goal, if I would have embraced it more, I probably would be way more lucrative as well.
Mhm.
But it's like I was doing it, but I wanted
Right.
the
Yeah.
blow up. I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
the label.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be down with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be signed by 50 or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah.
wanted. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to be the Rock, you know what I mean? But and I mean, like I said, my one of my partners, the one of the first person that believed in me was he always wanted to be independent.
Yeah.
And I was doing the independent thing. Like I drop a song, I make merch. That was my hustle. So I
Yeah.
was doing it, but I didn't. My heart wasn't in it because I was chasing. It's not that my heart was in it, but I was being pulled in different directions because I was chasing that
Yeah.
label shit. But
Yeah.
had I stayed strong on some indie shit, it like really, really, because anytime I drop something or I put some teas out, it's getting purchased.
Hmm.
Anything I put out is getting purchased, and that's where it really at. And to this day, that's where it's at now. And it's like,
Hmm.
damn, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody that's out now that's doing something independent, I'm like, I've been doing that. So it
Hmm.
makes me like laugh, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes the D's and the I's ain't crossed, you know what I'm saying? It ain't dotted and it ain't, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I know I feel confident that I was there and I knew
Hmm.
it, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm good with that, you know what I'm saying?
Addressing more issues
Yeah,
to
more issues to address.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us about that album.
All right, that album was like that was after Lord of Flatbush. So that Lord of Flatbush was like that real return. I'm back home, you know what I'm saying? Shit. But more issues to address now was more like it was more like bringing back that addressing all issues vibe, but it was just dropping hard records,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's learning the digital stores now,
Hmm.
really learning the digital stores, and I'm really proud of that project. That was like a solid joint, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I was just making sure that was just learning the game. That's like I'm caught up now. That
Yeah.
really was more like I'm caught up and oh, this was going
Yeah.
on the digital streaming platforms and oh face Instagram real, or like you know what I mean, videos and
Yeah.
I'm caught up now. That's what one of those type of albums. Like I got more shit to talk about. Like
Yeah.
y'all want that, you know what I mean? Yo, Mars, we want to address no issues. We love Lord of Flatbush and Manas and all that, but yo, we want to address more issues too. So I hit him with the more issues to address. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's one of my favorite joints, to be honest with you.
That
Manas is one of my favorite.
Manas, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That listen, that's one of that's like a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of those that stick out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Manas is definitely like one of my hits. When people see me in the street,
Yeah.
yo, they don't even say Mars no most of the time. They just say Manas.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Word. That's one of my, you know what I mean, successful records and shit.
And for those who don't know out there, that's a Brooklyn terminology.
That's yeah.
Dealing,
By
you dealing
way of
with
Jamaica and
yeah,
the
yeah,
Caribbean, yeah.
yeah,
But
dealing,
like going back to independent, Manas independently, Manas did great for me independently. Like
yeah.
I made a lot of money with that song, period. I
Hmm.
did a lot of progressive things with that song. I went on tour with that song. You know what I'm saying? I went to California, Atlanta. That song was a good song for me. It could have been pushed more, like you say. You gotta have that money behind
Yeah,
you. You
yeah,
gotta have that backing behind you because it's like you gotta buy number one records now.
yeah,
And the real people in the industry is revealing that.
yes,
You gotta
yeah,
buy. You have to buy your record. You know,
yeah,
people in the industry now is revealing that, but we knew that for if you've been in the music business, you knew that for a long time. You had to
yeah.
pay. You had to pay a DJ a Hot 97 10 bands to
Hmm.
spin it for 2 months, or
Yeah,
you knew that. You know what I mean? So
because when you first start, do you really think it's the talent and the talent's gonna open these doors? It's a business.
it's a business. It's deeper than rap.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's a movie that's so pivotal that me and one of my other bros we talk about this all the time. The movie with the Cameron, where he has a scene in the movie where he's talking to Gordo, and he's saying, he was telling Gordo like, "Yo, I got dreams. I'm trying to make it to the NBA," and Gordo like, "Nigga, you not making it to no NBA. They pick niggas for that shit." And
Hmm.
with the music industry is very clicky, so
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
there's a business side to it that you have people been buying their number one album.
Yes,
They got the
yes,
connect, and it's not really just the money, it's knowing where to spend your money.
yes,
you know
yes,
you got
yes,
the bands, and you know who to go to spend your 30 bands to make
yes,
the record is
yes.
played on the radio, getting the right
Hmm.
spins. Not
Yep.
only getting the visual when people riding the
Hmm.
trains, the the
Hmm.
the, the buses, going
Hmm.
to the local, to the local restaurants and seeing like
Facts.
billboards, is knowing where to spend that money is also a science as well too. That
Hmm.
you learn throughout the business in itself. Um
Yeah.
Time is Mars money.
Hmm. All
Time
right. So, yeah. All right. Timeless Mars Money. That actually, the reason why I say timeless edition is because I had to remaster and you know what I mean, remaster it and put it back out.
Mhm.
Timeless Mars Money came out. That was all the music that was an album that I put together right before I got locked up untimely. You know what I mean? I had Blue Trial.
Mhm.
And when I got locked up, my DJ Victorious, who always A&R on my projects, he put that out for me while I ended up being incarcerated. But that
Mhm.
was the album that I was working on prior to being incarcerated. And at that moment, I had everything that I needed at that moment. Right before I got locked up,
Mhm.
that's how life is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right before I got locked up, everything that I needed to get to that next level, I had. I
Yeah.
had the investor.
Yeah.
I had the bag behind me now. So now I was like, oh, y'all don't want to get me in the door just because of talent and
Mhm.
just because I know this person. I got a bag behind me now. I got somebody willing to, he believes in me and invest in me.
Mhm.
And that's when it was going. Now I'm neck and neck with a lot of people. Now I'm meeting artists. Now certain artists that sign now. All right, that album is when, and then I end up getting locked up. But
Mhm.
that album is another like real big album for me.
Hmm.
You know?
So just to segue a little bit,
Yeah.
with all the beef records or all the diss records that's out right now, what do you think of, the beef with Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Chris Brown, uh,
Hmm.
uh, uh, Honcho,
Hmm.
Quavo,
Hmm.
say, you got Rick Ross,
Hmm.
and so on and
I
so.
Yeah. With my opinion on the beefs now is like I've seen a lot of people saying this is the best beef and this is the best back of I don't think that, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think that it was way more prominent battles amongst MCs prior. But with the battle now, like it's really cotton candy. But as far as Drake and Kendrick, like you mentioned, all the other, I think like those are just, attention
Yeah,
ploys
yeah,
and different
yeah, yeah.
things, and you know what I mean. But as far as Drake and Kendrick beef, that is a big beef, and it was a big beef. And I'll be making my like comments about it. You know what I mean? I'm really like I I I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar. I listen more to Drake. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So I kind of look at Drake more as a better artist than Kendrick.
Hmm.
Not to not to discredit him, you know what I'm saying, his
Hmm.
talent, but it just his music didn't never resonated with me
Hmm.
that much, you know. So I kind of lean towards like Drake music resonate with me with so that as a battle, remember, at the end of the day, they both popular and they're populous. They got the community. The battle was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? It probably didn't play out the way, you know what I mean? But I just ignorantly or stubbornly say,
Yeah,
Drake won stubbornly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoever feel a different way, that's their opinion. But
Hmm.
stubbornly, that's how I feel about the rap. I just still say Drake
Yeah,
won, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
it is what it is. But I won't compare it to Jay Jay Z and Nas,
Hmm.
Biggie and Pac,
Hmm.
um, Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss and D Block,
Yeah,
State Property versus D Block. I'm not comparing it to none of those.
yeah,
None of those. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Definitely not comparing it to none of those.
Yeah, when I shared my opinion was very unpopular. I said overall that Kendrick won mainly because when you think of the beef, you're gonna think of that song. You're gonna think of uh
Yeah,
Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
song defines the whole beef.
yeah,
Lyrically, I thought it was mild. There was highlight
yeah,
that was,
yeah.
dope,
Facts. I agree.
but majority lyrically of the beef was mild. I think
Yeah,
actually Drake had probably the best lyrical song on out the throughout the whole beef, in my opinion. But when you think of the beef, people go and think of, you know, um, Meet the
yeah.
Grand, and then they're going to think of, basically Not Like Us. Just
Because you know what I'm saying. First they love you, then first they hate you, then they love you, then they hate you again. That's
yeah,
how. So
yeah,
I'm really on that spectrum of the whole beef. You know what I'm saying? Because like basically like the not like us. I'm a type of person like this, right? I'm gonna
Subscribe.
give you why I look at that beef like that. Like I don't like Nas ether.
mhm, mhm,
Not well. The
mhm,
reason why I didn't like Nas ether was for the first two verses.
mhm,
But that nobody don't say this. But that third verse, when he say, "You're my brother, you traded your style for, and now I
yeah,
watch you like a sound."
yeah,
That's, and
yeah,
I'm a lyricist.
yeah,
That is what hit Jay.
yeah,
That verse, not the. I don't want to hear dick sucking lips.
yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah,
whack to me.
yeah, yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
But when he schooled him in that third verse, that's music.
yeah,
So now, not like us is like gives me the same vibe of like how Nas was saying dick sucking lips.
yeah.
It feels like I don't like you calling him these names and these pedophile putting this out there. I think that's just a smear campaign.
Right, right, right.
You feel me?
Mhm,
And then even with saying that he had a daughter and he really didn't have a daughter,
mhm.
smear campaign.
Yeah,
All of those is so I'm that type of person. But now when a nigga really rapping to you and telling you about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
But if people want to see someone fall and you drop a bop,
Yeah.
niggas gonna run with the bop, and niggas
Yeah.
want to see you fall anyway. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Drake is. I don't think Drake is a pedophile. But
Right.
we can't put our all in these artists.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We seeing now
Yeah.
something about to. We seeing the thing that's playing out with Diddy
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you can't bet put all your eggs in some artists just because you like their music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But from my observation, like you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I'm really not like I'm not really moved by Kendrick music. I know he has talent, or I know people revere him as for being talented or for
Mm-hmm.
being innovative.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really moved by his music, and it might bite me in my ass later on saying it. But
Mm-hmm.
I just got to keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's that you had mentioned Jay and Nas because I thought Jay won that beef. I thought Super Ugly was probably the best lyrical song out of all, but
I
Ether,
thought Blueprint 2 was the
right.
that mostly was the real. But now, like I made a joke, like when I go back in hindsight, like now it's like I was all the way on Jay on that. It's kind of in the same position, but I appreciate Nas more
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
years. Listen, like damn son, he really was him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I
Yeah.
appreciate Nas more as well. So I just say that was the great battle because I might have like not like us is a ether because you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna remember the beat.
Right. Right. And
Not
and,
like us is like a ether,
and
but like nobody's gonna talk about Drake. The last joint that Drake dropped, I love
right.
that
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
because he's talking to him, he's telling him the truth.
Yeah.
But the high see a loser. You know, you can't win for too long. But I'm not that type of person. I love to see people win.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see somebody on top forever. It
Yeah.
is what it is. Like I love Jordan. I love LeBron. I don't want to see them lose. I don't hate them
Yeah.
because they're on the top of their game.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Right.
and that's how I feel. There's a lot of people that hatred, or there's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, don't like the stage. They like being underground. They like being in the cut. You know what I mean? Like, I
Talking from
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like
Yeah.
I said, no shade to that, but now I mean, I'm gonna ride it with. I'm gonna ride with the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
So
mean?
so you spoke on the Diddy thing that's going on, the videos released of the video of him and
Yeah. Damn.
what do you think about that?
I'm sorry that I even have to speak on it and all that. And you know what I mean? But that shit is bad. That situation with Diddy, he's really done.
Hmm.
He's It's over. It's over. It's over. Whatever people that messed with him or believed in him, um, even after the lawsuit and whatever, that didn't see that, they can't publicly support him or even in privacy support him because the evidence is out there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I seen Bobby Smurda speak on it, and he was like, "Yo, y'all millionaires. Why are y'all hitting women?" He's like, "We're not supposed to hit women, period. But
Hmm.
you're a millionaire. Like,
Hmm.
what can she do to you to once you put hands on a female and hit her like that?" And
Hmm.
it's true. Like, it's are you an angry dude that she want to break up with you and you're mad because you live in her house and she's paying all the bills and she telling you get out? Eh, No, you're a millionaire.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? I mean, I was a, you know what I mean? I love moguls. I respect
Yeah.
moguls. I
Yeah.
love moguls. That's how I view myself. Like I was saying,
Hmm.
that's why I wanted that ASAP
Yeah.
Rocky deal because I
Yeah.
view myself as a mogul. So, you know what I mean? People like Puff is a blueprint, but that right there, it's like can't stop, won't stop. That shit don't stop now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
not to laugh at that, but damn, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, last question.
Yeah.
What is the most proud thing that you could hold your head, pause, from your journey out of everything that you've been through? Music, you had a stint where you went away, been
Hmm.
on tour, sold tons of merchandise, you
Hmm.
know, doing your thing. What is the most
Hmm.
proud thing that you could say, yo, I can hang my hat on that?
Hmm. The most proud thing that I'm proud of is like, I mean, aside, like, I didn't want to put it cliche and say, yo, my daughter, or my, you know what I mean, my family thing. I, I wanted to make it more of a, like, based on like an accomplishment, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I would say is, what I am proud of is like my name is still good. Like, my name is still good. Like, people know I'm talented. People know I'm a stand-up guy. If you meet someone else and say they know Marz, that person is not gonna have nothing too bad to say about me.
Hmm.
I'm proud that I still who I am, and I'm also proud that like I'm still here. I'm still doing good. I'm able to provide for my family. I'm able to live a life. I'm all right. Like, God is good. Like, I've
Yeah.
been through some shit, and like,
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm blessed still. So I'm really proud of knowing that, like like it worked out in a way that, like, you still here, you still good. A lot of your peers is not here. A lot of the
Yeah.
people that you know what I mean, like Nipsey Hussle, we developed a friendship,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, through the music, through me, Noxmen committee, and like, he's not here, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they got people that's my little man that I was started to manage and promote, Nick Blicky,
Hmm.
he's not here.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Casanova's doing time.
Hmm.
All these people that I crossed their path, you know what I mean? Things are at derailment for the moment, or they're no longer here. And I'm glad that I'm here. I got my freedom. I got my family. I got my loved ones, and I could still have the freedom to do music, to do podcasting, to do artwork, and
Hmm.
just, I mean, like, I'm glad that I'm still good. I'm still
Hmm.
good in the hood. My name is still good, and that I'm here. You know what I'm
That's, yeah,
saying?
fire, and we want you to know that we appreciate you, appreciate your music, appreciate your journey, and
Yeah,
and letting us know the positive and the
and
negative
the
side
negative.
of all your things that you've been through.
That.
Is there any other things that you want to promote right now? And
Hmm.
shout out. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, you would like.
yeah. Um, yeah. Right now, I got a new record that just dropped. It's It's Young Amsterdam and Great God
Mhm,
and me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Great God. He's doing his thing right now, and we just repping. We just repping with him and supporting him. He's a longtime friend in this music shit, and
mhm,
he's doing his thing right now. And I got a feature with him, so I'm happy about that. And shout out to Great God. He got the God Brothers, God Squad movement, and I'm supporting him with that. So that's getting, like, right now with that indie movement and that merch and all that. He's
yeah,
we in the right lane with that. So I'm happy about that. I got that project. I got that single with him out. Um, like I said, Young Amsterdam, he was like my manager, but now he's developing to an artist because
yeah.
you know what I mean. So me and him rocking together. So it's still Noxman committee and
Mhm,
everything. So I got more music coming, and I got my studio space where I'm located at right now in Dumbo, Brooklyn. So I got that moving. I got the podcasting going on. I got photographers. I got, you know what I mean? I got that going on. Shout out to Divine Films, and shout out to Great Gits Designs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got the Great My Creative Studio. So I'm happy about that. And so if you know what I mean, got my graphic designing still going. So you know what I mean? Everything is rolling
Mm-hmm.
continuously. So I'm just still putting out music. Like I said, that last track, I would like y'all to go download that, and it's called No Bluffing. It's called No Bluffing. It's Young Amsterdam featuring Great God and Marz Money. Shout out to the whole God brothers, the whole God squad. And then I got I got a couple songs out that's doing this numbers in the hood right now. I got a big single called Move Up. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Back to that Flatbush
Yeah, yeah.
Patois shit. I got a single called Move Up. That shit is doing numbers. So that's my solo single too, Move Up. I
Mm-hmm.
got a song called Freak. You know what I mean? Doing this thing. And I got a song called LinkedIn with another Flatbush artist, Preston Waters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to drop like a nice little EP with a couple singles. So with I got the Great God and a God Squad thing going on, Young
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, and I got my singles, and I'm about to drop a little project. Got my graphic design company doing good, and I got my podcasting slash recording studio slash photography studio in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Great Mind Creative Space doing this thing. So that's what I got going on, and I'm living it, and I'm happy. Family good, finances is good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Fire, fire. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
make sure y'all go support that immediate.
Yeah, fact.
Also let people know where you could be found on Instagram.
On Instagram, my name is at Big Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? And all other platforms is at Marz Money. Just at Marz Money on every platform at Marz Money. And my Instagram is Big Flatbush. Just look me up. You're gonna, you know what I mean, if you love music, if you love lyrics, if you love good music, if you love a vibe, you're gonna love my music. And other than that, I'm here to teach. I'm here to give people manners. I'm here to address all issues. I talk shit online. I'll be trolling. I
Yeah,
got the podcast going on, addressing all issues podcast. So that's all about, man. Enjoy the journey. People don't make it. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy the journey. It's not always about the bag and this, that, and the third. And it's about the fame, because you never know what can happen. You could not be here. But it's about the journey, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm still rolling. The marathon continues. You know what I'm saying?
facts. Yeah.
That.
Man, I
So
appreciate you tapping in with me. You know what I'm saying? Again, that this, this is one of the 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 interviews that I really wanted to lock in.
yeah, I
Definitely
appreciate that. Yeah, I
very.
appreciate reaching out, man.
No,
Appreciate reaching out, Ashley Lovechild, man. I respect it, man. I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all don't forget we're on Overstand every Monday at 9:30 each and every weekend. Again, Overstand at 9:30. Make sure y'all catch me on my other podcast, Can the Brothers Get a Rap, on Sunday and Thursday, every Sunday and Thursday at 10:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Back again. Why understand when you can overstand? My man
Mm-hmm.
Marz Money, thank you again. You can catch Ashley
Mm-hmm.
Lovechild at Ashley Lovechild on Instagram for those who don't know. And we'll be back again, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
honest. You know what I'm saying?
Manas.
We out of
Overstand.
here. Love.
Subscribe.